Um, but yes. Okay. So, hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Stephanie.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk with me. Welcome everyone, all my people out there in the interwebs and the social media whatnot. I have the pleasure of sitting down with one of my longtime students and volunteers and just like one of my favorite people ever. And I'm going to let him introduce himself to you. But I do want you to just know that this is one of many in a series of videos and just conversations with participants, donors, and volunteers for Ms. Steph Science Club. So now, take it away. Who are you? What's your name?
I'm Maxwell, but call me Max for short. Yeah.
Okay.
Some people may not, but yeah, I'm Maxwell.
All right.
For a while, then it's a good chance you've seen my face at some point.
You have seen him. You have definitely seen him in one of my favorites. Most likely I'll insert it when I do the edit, but he and a few other students are in one of my favorite pictures from our very first Science Club summer. Max and I actually go way back, and I'm about to ask him to kind of break that down from his side of things. But yeah, I'll insert a picture of our first summer Science Club, like right about somewhere, okay, in the YouTube atmosphere. So Max, tell me, how do you tell it from your side of the story? I always get to be the one to tell it, but how do we know each other?
Well, it started in 2005. Yeah, I think it was 2005. I was in kindergarten. And I remember my mom telling me, you're going to start after school, because she didn't have patience to help me with my homework. So, I was in after school. I remember coming to the auditorium and I got picked up by counselors whose names I actually cannot remember. I apologize. And they brought me to the old building, which was on 118th, I think. 118th, right? I don't remember.
Yes, you went to that location. That was back before Science Club even was a thing.
Yeah, that was way back when. I'm 20 now. I was 5 years old when I met Stephanie. So I went there, and that's when it was an after school program. So you come there after school, get your homework done, you go out to the back, play dodgeball, kickball, go to dance class with Mrs. Easter. It was just like, it was always activities to do. And I met Miss Stephanie, I think the first day I got there, because I don't think I wanted to do homework or something like that. It was something crazy. And I met Miss Stephanie, and she talked me into doing my work, basically. And I ended up doing my homework. And like pretty much from that day on, we just had a special bond that carried for years. And we still have.
One of my babies, and I embarrass him all the time, and he lets me embarrass him, and has helped us over the years. So not only was he at a program that I was the director of, then his mom volunteered him that he would then come over to Science Club when I started Triple F Empowerment Inc. and therefore launched Ms. Steph Science Club, the main program that is under the Triple F umbrella. And so my next question for you, Max, and feel free to be honest, you don't have to answer the way you think I want you to answer. But I'm just curious. So tell them, like, why did you participate for so long?
I participated for a while because, one, it's camp. We're in New York City, and camp is good for every young kid, every kid. Keep you out of trouble. I don't mind. It's the devil's playground. So because of camp keeping me busy, and it's not like I was bored to be at camp, because it's a science camp. So it's always something fun to do in a science camp. We had off the top of the head, Puff Paint. Puff Paint was one of my favorites. And then I had recently, let's fast forward a little bit. I recently came back for work, and I realized Miss Stephanie kind of upgraded the science experiments that I do, but it's okay. You know, at least the younger group got a chance to do it. But puff paint was one of them. A memory not there. I think we had another one with balloons. Oobleck. Oobleck was fun. Oh man, I loved the Oobleck. Some of them were
to this day. To this day, if I needed a volunteer to come do Oobleck with the kids, I know Max would come.
Sometimes they got messy, you know, bring it home to mom, but you know, mom was expecting it. It's science, you know, come home a little dirty, science. So, but it was just fun. I kept coming back because one, I had a relationship with Stephanie. We've been close since I was pretty much a baby, and then I knew every counselor because I've been there since I was 5. Like, I think one of the first counselors I met was Eric. Yeah, remember his name. His name was Eric. Miss Shakira, Miss Chrissy, Miss Ebony, Miss Sophie. Yeah, I could go on for days, but like I just remember all my counselors because all my counselors were cool, and we were just pretty close. Most recent counselor I remember is Mr. Anthony, because when I was a camper, that was my regular counselor, and you know, used to have to walk me home and make sure I got home safe and stuff like that. So yeah, it was just always, you know, it was like a family-oriented program where you come in as a stranger, you leave as family. That's pretty much what it was. And I love that. And so did my mom.
Yes. So now, what would you tell people as far as why you think that they should support Triple F Empowerment Inc.'s Science Club?
Well, okay. So let's start it off with one. The camp is not a huge camp like the olden days, which some of you may know about, when that was like a really big camp with a lot of kids. Here it's a little more enclosed, so that means that your child is going to have like more time to spend with Stephanie and more attention, and you're able to like your child will be monitored more closely, as opposed to like when you go to the bigger camps, you don't really know if you're like new to the bigger camps, you don't really know the staff there. You don't know how they're going to treat your child and stuff like that when you're not around. Here, you have a sense of, you know what your child is doing every day, and Miss Stephanie, she don't play games, so you know, we'll get out of hand, we'll hear about it, or it will get dealt with. So basically, it's really just a matter of, it's about science. So you learn something new every day, literally every day you learn something new. And then it's not even just science. It's also, you got your, what's it called? It's like time to work. You know, it's a little folder with work that Miss Stephanie assigned. It's like math work and reading. I'm not a fan of the math work. So, you know, I didn't really like the math part. But everything else was pretty
But
fun.
you did it.
Done. If you needed help, you needed help. But it wasn't just all play. You did have to tune in, still remember, you know, how to add and subtract, and you know, the basics. So when you do go back to school come fall, you didn't just completely fall off the wagon. So if you want to keep your child's mind sharp, you know, and always keep them busy, Triple F is a great place for them to start. It's a great place. It's a great place. And the trips. The trips. Can I talk about the trips? I don't want to talk about the trips.
You can talk about whatever you want. This is our times together. They're just happy to. They're just watching, you know. But you get to tell about what you enjoyed, and still kind of enjoy, because you know there's always room for you.
It was either last year or 2 years ago. I didn't get to go on any trips, unfortunately, because I was working. But the trips, we had the trip to the Bronx Zoo, which is always a fun time. Who doesn't like the zoo? Then you got the botanical gardens. You know, you learn about different flowers and stuff like that. That's also a fun time. But we gonna skip ahead to my favorite trip, which is what's it called?
Oh, the place where
The
The
big
long
ball.
drive. The big,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Liberty Science Center for, and I'll probably drop in a picture here from our last trip to Liberty Science Center, and you'll see the ball that he's talking about.
Trip
We always take a picture under the
of
ball.
some that trip. Oh man, I missed it. I was upset. But that trip right there, oh,
We missed you.
that's a good trip. That's a fun trip, you know, because it's like you got the aquarium. I think it's like a little aquarium. You see the little fishes, the little insects, and like the insect part, but like they got activities for you to do, games for you to play, and it's really just a time to like where you can explore the facility, and it's for everybody. So you think you're too old to come and go through a maze? No, you're not. You're not. You can come at any age and have a great time with the activities, the games, the events, and you can learn. It's always fun to learn. Now, it's just always fun to learn new things and expand your mind and just keep it going. That's a main part of the science class, is to expand your mind and keep you learning. And that's what I did. I learned a lot. Like I took science last year. What was it? Earth science. It was some kind of science I took, and it was like a lot of stuff that the professor taught was stuff that I learned from the camp. So apparently, I never thought, you know, down the road, science camp was going to help me in college because I didn't want anything. I didn't want anything to do with a science major, but I always liked science, but I didn't want to major in science. But I had to take a science class anyway, and I was already like at the top, but I was a little bit ahead because of what I was taught from Miss Stephanie. So it do prepare you for early on, and it's always good to be just a little bit out of the game, no matter what you're doing, whether you're going into the 5th, 6th grade, it doesn't matter. If you're ahead of the game by a little bit, you're doing something right. And that's really where you excel at in this camp. You'll definitely get ahead of the game when it comes to a lot of things.
Wow. Wow. By the way, I did not tell him what to say. And I'm actually just here in awe to see just the blessing of just who you've become and who you are still becoming, of course. As you were sharing with us, you're in your 2nd year of college, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so before we close out, because you are a college student and you are on campus right now, I want to respect your time. Before we close out, is there anything else about Science Club that you would like to share with everyone as far as the impact it's had on your life?
It's impacted me in a positive way because, like I said, I started off as a camper. But then I remember I became a volunteer, then I became an intern. And really working there is just it's just as fun as being a camper because you get to work with the other campers, you know, and every day was an adventure. It was an adventure, you know, learning new ways to play games. You know, I still feel like it's cheating, but literally every year I came back, it was a new way to play Uno. It was amazing.
Yes, Uno.
It was a new way to play it. It was a new way to play. What other game we played, man? Kala, I think it was or Connect Four, one of those. And it's just like it makes me feel old because I remember when I used to change the rules up a little bit. Now, like I'm a counselor and I'm playing with them and I'm getting cheated, but it's like I can't do anything because apparently this is how they play. So yeah, but it's just fun because now I get to fill the shoes of my counselors and work with campers, you know, and take that long walk with them to the bathroom, or like, you know, gotta help them cross the street, stuff like that. It's just like, oh man, I'm getting old, and like it's just I'm getting old, and then I see like how some camp I have similarities to some campers that I worked with. Like I love to play around, you know, I was always goofy. I love to play around, I love to talk, and I've met campers that love to play around and love to talk. So it was just like, oh wow, so everything comes back in a circle. But it was pretty cool experience to work with the kids.
Wow. I appreciate you. And I know that all the other members of our science club community appreciate you. And I'm also quite sure that there are folks who are watching this that they're glad to get to see where you're at now. We've known each other for longer than Science Club has been around, but this is our 10th summer coming up, 2021. So this is the 10th summer. And I know that folks are excited to be able to get an idea of where you're at now. And so I want to say thank you so much for joining us. And folks, until next time, there are going to be stories and different things and checking in with all of the members of the Science Club community over the next month and a half, so that you can get an idea of what you're supporting when you are clicking that donate button for the Exponential Growth Campaign. Thank you.